You're listening to the Wally Show podcast. You can hear the live version every weekday morning through the WayFM app or following along with us at wayfm.com/Wally.
The Wally Show podcast is brought to you by Colorado Christian University Online, where Wally teaches and where you can earn a degree online just like Betty Rock. You can learn more at ccu.edu/Wally. This podcast is also brought to you by United Faith Mortgage. Let their direct lender advantage save you time and money.
Uplifting WayFM.
Here's what's going on today.
I'm going to sound like an old fogey, but back in my day,
Oh, no.
smartphones weren't a thing. We had phones that were meant just for calls. And once texting was introduced, you didn't have a full keyboard of letters like you do now. You used a multi-tap function. Do you remember this?
Yeah, and I never texted because of it, because it was like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and it was like
Right.
And then T9 came in, and that was a pain. So I just never texted back then.
Yeah, and while it may sound terrible to some, it's starting to sound appealing to the younger generation on the whole Nokia phone
How is
or
that
the
possible?
flip phone.
Oh yeah, the
those are
StarTech.
Simple times. Well, I found an article that claims dumb phones are seeing a comeback thanks to Gen Zers.
Wait a minute. Thanks to Gen Z?
Yeah, the youngest.
What are we doing?
I just figured it would be old people that don't want all the gadgets and gizmos. They want it simple.
No, I mean, my dad is going to turn 60. He is 68.
Yeah.
He's all about his smartphone.
Is he
So
really?
I think the older generation, it's kind of like going backwards.
Yeah.
So many claim it's because Gen Zers are seeing the ongoing concern of what smartphones could be doing to their mental health. So they're making some cutbacks. Phone manufacturing companies like Punkt and Light are catering to this trend by making what they call minimalistic phones. So instead of it being called a dumb phone, it's
Right.
more of an intentional phone.
Oh, that's better.
Which gotta cater,
Yeah.
which wouldn't be inherently anti-technology,
Right.
but instead it would you'd consciously be choosing how and when to use which aspects of technology that added a better quality of life.
Would it have internet? So you could do socials still?
It has a hotspot,
Okay.
so that would make it where you could use your computer
Okay.
to get internet from it.
Okay.
But it has GPS.
But like no apps and stuff, like so you can't go on Facebook.
Right.
Okay,
No
well, that
social media. And it wouldn't
makes
also
sense.
have those like pings where you get so-and-so liked your
Yeah.
Instagram photo or things like that. It wouldn't do that.
You know what? Honestly, like if somebody's doing that because social media has become like so prevalent in their life and it owns them, I applaud that. Like good on you. If you recognize that's an issue, then definitely take those steps.
So are you going to do it?
Absolutely not.
You can't get your TikTok
No,
on there.
I can't get my TikTok, and I need the internet to prove the things that my wife says are wrong. Like, because she'll say some things that are just crazy sometimes. I'm like, wait, where'd you get that? And she's like, I think it's true. I'm like, we're Googling this. So I need it to strengthen my marriage.
I see. That's healthy.
That's healthy. Uplifting WayFM. This is the Wally Show. When I was a kid, I was in a family of 5 kids, okay? And my mom used to always say, I don't have a favorite. I love you all the same but different. And I knew she was lying. Like 100% I knew she was lying because I knew I was the favorite. Oh, absolutely.
I didn't see it going that way.
Yeah, no one did. But I was wired the most like my mom and my dad, and so it's just. I mean, my siblings probably would not agree.
I was going to ask.
No, they would not. But I know it. Sometimes it's the unspoken things
I see.
that let you know.
Well, maybe you should try this trick of the trade that I'm finding out on TikTok. So all these younger kids have this hack. So what you do is to find out if you're the favorite, you log out of your parents' Netflix account, and then you ask them, hey, what's the password? And if they tell you the password and your name is in it, then you know you're the favorite.
That's a great idea.
I had a friend of mine recently do that.
No, for real?
Yeah. Now, given she's the middle child of 3.
Okay.
And she is 33. Okay. So she logged out of her parents' account and she asked them, what's the password? Well, it was the name of the family dog.
Nice.
So now she's like, the dog is the favorite.
Exactly.
Not even me.
That's really funny. My brother-in-law has triplets, and I know like a couple of his passwords have their first letter of each name.
That's safe.
Yeah, so he has every one of them covered.
But I think there are other ways that you can
Absolutely.
find out that you're the favorite.
Yeah, for sure. Like if your parents never left you behind on a vacation, you're the favorite.
Did they leave you behind?
Forgot about me. Yeah, and so, yeah.
Poor Wally.
Yeah, if you can imagine like stopping at a rest center, like on a family vacation, and everybody gets back in the van, but you, and they actually take off, you would know.
You're like Kevin from Home Alone.
Yes.
Right, you're the low man on the totem pole.
Not the favorite. No one even missed me. And they're like, it was nice and quiet for 2 hours. You know? All right, so 855-33-WAY-FM. What let you know you were or weren't the favorite in this case? 855-33-WAY-FM. We'll take your calls right now if you got one. So, Bobby, what told you that you were the favorite?
So I was living with my grandparents for most of my childhood, and I got in a lot of trouble. So I was not the favorite growing up, and I'm the youngest of two. So but after my grandparents passed away, I was the only grandchild to receive any of the inheritance or belongings from my grandparents.
Oh,
really? If you were the black sheep, too, that had to make your sibling a little upset.
It did. It caused some problems between my brother, my mom, and even my mom's siblings because of the fact that a lot of the stuff that was given to me was very cherishable from my grandmother and my grandfather because he was military and he was a very avid painter. So I got 90% of her paintings and a lot of the furniture from my grandfather from being overseas.
Now, why was it that you received all of it? Like, what was it that made you the favorite with them?
I believe it was because my brother and my mother just were all about, what about me, what about me? And I could see things from my grandparents' perspective, and I put myself last. I didn't care about what I got. I just was the fact that they were gone, and I cherish that and their memories.
Okay, so Bobby was better at sucking up than his siblings.
That's one way of putting it, I guess, yeah.
Did you share any of the inheritance with your family members?
I've given some of the things to my brother. My mom has got a few of them. So, yes, I have.
That's good. That can at least help smooth over some of it if they felt they were wronged. Well, that's a good one, Bobby. I appreciate you being on the show with us today. Thank you.
We had this discussion on our Facebook page. Susie said, we all had to eat liver and onions for dinner while the favorite got to eat her sandwich.
Nice. Yeah, made her a special meal. Yeah, definitely the favorite there. All right, Catherine, how do you know if you are the favorite in your family?
A tornado was hitting our house, and my parents heard that I was getting hit in the head with flying objects, so they told my brother to switch places with me to protect me.
Oh my gosh, that is so great. And you think, oh wow, that's the chivalrous thing to do is, you know, let the boy take the hit. They're just like, no, earning potential, we know he's not going to do as well as Catherine is.
Pretty much. Exactly right.
How did this discussion go after the tornado? Like, what did your brother think?
He always knew I was the favorite, but that absolutely proved to him that I was the favorite.
Yeah, that would cement the deal for sure. Oh, Catherine, that's my favorite of the day. That's so good. Thanks for being on the show with us.
Y'all have a blessed day.
Wally fancies himself a bit of an amateur first responder.
What can I say? I like to help.
But you're not qualified. I would trust you more if you went to Colorado Christian University. They have degrees for working professionals who want to make a difference in this world.
You know what, Rock? You're right. Maybe I should look into their campus event and organizational safety program. It's a fully online degree designed to equip you with cutting-edge but practical, timely skills to further your criminal justice career and help you protect the innocent people at places like churches and schools.
Plus, the Master of Science in Criminal Justice program is 36 credit hours, and it can be completed in as little as 15 months with full-time study.
So start a degree in 2023 so you can do more in 2024. CCU also has a generous policy for transferring credits. In fact, you can even get a scholarship just for transferring credits.
Criminal justice can be an exciting but challenging career, and we need people who are not only professionals but also believers. That's why Colorado Christian University makes sure all of their courses integrate a biblical worldview.
Find out more at ccu.edu. Colorado Christian University is a nonprofit impact partner committed to cultivating the mind without compromising the heart.
Uplifting Way FM.
Wonder if Wally will have an opinion on this.
Wally, I respect you, but word to the wise, never trust a short man named Wally.
It's the Wally Show.
So remember when actor Jeremy Renner was run over by his own snowplow and he got seriously injured?
That was earlier this year.
Yeah, that was a big deal. I mean, he got hurt really badly. Well, Diane Sawyer from ABC has an exclusive interview, but it was weird. Like, I'm watching the trailer for it, promoting it, And I'm like, it feels like a trailer for an action movie, and it feels really weird.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'm not making this up. So like intense, but like not done well intense either. Like the voice guy is trying to be the big voice actor, and it doesn't come off like that. So I have to give the disclaimer. I want to play this that. I know in radio we do parody commercials and parody songs and things like that. This is not me doing a bad parody of a trailer. This is the actual trailer for this Diane Sawyer interview. I mean, you're going to think I made this up, but I did not.
A superhero of the Avengers, fearlessly taking on any fight. An ordinary man with a strength that never gives up.
Do you remember the pain?
Oh, all of it. Yeah, I was awake through every moment.
Who risked his own life to try to save his nephew.
I'd do it again.
You'd do it again?
Yeah, I'd do it again.
7 tons of machinery bearing down, and one man's iron will to fight and survive.
Wait, like, what's my body look like? Am I just going to be like a spine and a brain, like a science experiment?
A story of terror, survival,
Dude, I chose to survive. It's not going to kill me. No way.
And triumph. Jeremy Renner, Diane Sawyer. Thursday, April 6th at 10/9 Central on ABC.
The only thing that's missing is in a world. Like you got one man. Like that's overly dramatic, right?
It is, but I would think that the person that probably produced that had just gotten done watching like a really big
That's someone
film.
who's like fresh out of film school.
Right. And it traveled with him.
Like it was like that was a way over the top version of this interview. Like I felt bad for the guy. That was horrible, an accident. But he got run over by his own snowplow.
Well, we should make one for your pickleball injuries.
Yes, one man. Yeah. So I am curious, like, because that was and that was only 45 seconds from a 3-minute thing. Like I cut it down. I didn't alter anything. That was all like the parts that were in there.
There was 3.5 minutes of that.
Yes. Yeah.
Someone approved that.
Yeah, I know exactly. So the big question is, though, does it make you want to watch it?
No.
Yeah, me either.
Oh, I am.
Oh, come on. Betty rocks in. She's like, you know what? I like stories. In a world where one man triumphs over his own stupidity. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. And we've all heard that phrase, the grass is always greener. What does that mean to you, Lady Rock?
It means that I could have it better or someone else has it better than I do. If I just went over there, their grass is greener than mine.
Exactly. And a lot of times you find out that's not the case. There's actually the grass is always browner on the other side day. I didn't even know that.
I didn't either.
It's the truth of that situation because a lot of times you think something is going to be better and you build it up in your head and then you get there and you're like, well, this is not good, at all.
It makes you want to, like, if that has happened to you, you think, why didn't I appreciate what I had before?
Exactly. I had that professionally. When I worked at Radio Disney, I cannot even tell you the ungodly amount of money I was making to work in a radio thing for kids, okay? It was ludicrous. It was stupid. And I realize it. And I did not enjoy the moment as much as I should have. And I fought people because they were doing what I thought was bad radio, I should have just shut my mouth and cashed a check, But I didn't because I had principles and I thought the grass was greener. And then you're like, oh, wow, that was dumb. Like, that was really dumb.
But at least you see it, and you can learn from hopefully you can learn from your past mistakes.
We'll see. No, but we had a guy that we work with here that left here and went to another Christian radio station, and he was there for like 6 months, and then he came back because he realized everything that glitters is not gold. He thought this was going to be better, but he was like, oh no, this is my home back here, and we ridiculously took him back. And now we love this guy. He's great.
But I'm sure many of us have experienced that where we thought the grass is greener on the other side, and then we realized, actually, they need some fertilizer.
Yeah.
This is not near as green as I thought it would be.
So have you ever done that? I'm curious. Like, I've done it. I'm sure Betty's done it. 855-33-WAY-FM. Gavin left the shoe game, like the shoe store biz, to come here. And
It's been great.
Okay, this is good. This is better.
This is not a Browner situation.
Okay, good. All right, so 855-33-WAY-FM is the number. We love having you on the show with us. And so what's that time that you thought it was going to be better, but it really was Browner? 855-33-WAY-FM. Have you ever been in that situation?
Yeah, I felt that way for years. I would say my entire career. Like, I was chasing my potential instead of my purpose. And I was like, I can have bigger pay, I can have better benefits, I can have a bigger position, director, manager, whatever. And it wasn't until probably like 5 years ago when my adopted son took his life that I realized that I should be chasing my purpose, not my potential.
I think that's a great life lesson that many of us need to be reminded of, because I know recently I read this article that it was like the jobs that are the most satisfactory to us are the ones where we help others. It's not the ones that are paying us bakoodles of money. And so with this short life we have here on earth, man, to work towards something that you know is helping others, that's where you find joy.
So Mark, what was your purpose?
Obviously, it was devastating that my adopted son took his life. And so I found it a reason to bring the Word of God to other children and to give them a hope. So now I work with a ministry that brings the Word of God to children across the globe. So I wasn't able to give him that hope, but I'm participating in giving hope to millions of other kids by bringing the Word of God to the kids globally.
Well, there you go, man. I'm sorry for the way that this came about, but it's good that you're taking that negative situation for you and turning it into a positive for others.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Have you ever realized that in your own life, Emily?
Absolutely. I am a nurse here in South Florida, and I used to work for a county hospital. It's a very, very big hospital, and I was very unhappy, not happy at all, not feeling like I was fulfilling my duties. And I left to this little hospital that I thought that was going to be the Switzerland of other hospitals, will be beautiful and nice people and making double what I was making before. And I went home crying every single day. I did it for 2 years, but recently I just went back to my other job.
Really? It must be nice to be able to go back to a job. I've never been able to. You know, I totally get that, though, like making double the money. I worked at a radio station. I'd gotten to market number 8, which is a big deal in radio. And I was working at a heritage radio station that everyone respected. I was making great money, and I was miserable. I went home angry every day and brought my work home with me, and it wasn't worth it. My wife was like, you need to quit this. You're not happy, and I don't care if you have another job lined up or not. You need to quit.
Yeah.
And I ended up doing that, you know, and it was scary, but then God brought me here, which I'm still amazed that I'm here this many years later and thankful.
That's exactly what happened to me. I went right back to where I was before, and today actually it's the 1 month mark, and I come home smiling and I'm happy, and for that I'm a better wife, I'm a better mom, I'm a better friend, and I don't regret 1 minute. I'm not making double the money anymore, but I'm okay with that.
You know what? That's why DoorDash exists. You know? Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show, and radio stations do contests all the time. It's part of the fun of listening to a radio station. But this is my favorite one that we do all year long, because we're giving a kid a chance to go to Camp Electric for free. And the way it happens is by you nominating them. You got a kid that's your kid, maybe a kid that you know from church that loves music and is a musician. They play guitar, bass, drums, violin even. They sing, they songwrite, keyboards, you name it. And they want to get better at their craft. You can send them to basically the Christian version of Camp Rock, which is totally cool. And they get not only instruction from, the best in Christian music, people that are actually working in it, and they get instruction on how to be great musicians, but they also get the God stuff, man, that is so important. That's going to carry them way farther than music does, And so we love that. And again, the way you do that, the way you send a kid is you nominate them.
Yeah, this was actually Barbara. She nominated her grandson, Jojo, says that he hasn't been to church a lot. He's one of 4 boys. His mom actually only barely makes enough to like feed and clothe them. And, you know, she and her husband, they help where they can. But she says that JJ knows about God, but other than church, doesn't get much opportunity and falls between the cracks. He could really use this as a space to go and get a biblical perspective. And he's learning the violin. It's his first year learning the violin. So
Very
he's getting
cool.
into music. Maybe this would be a great place to get some music, but also get some faith for this kid.
Absolutely, because you don't have to be an accomplished musician to do it. That's what this is about. It's learning. But man, one of our first years, I remember Spencer, Russ from Russia Fools was there, or not Russ. Oh, come on, Wally. Yeah, and so they called me with Spencer, our winner, and was like, "Hey, dude, he wants to tell you something." Like, "Yeah, what's going on?" He's like, "Man, I just accepted Christ." Like, what? Like,
awesome.
how cool was that? That's Camp Electric doing its job, focusing on the faith as much or more than the music, you know? And so that's why I'm so passionate about it.
So if you've got a kid in your life that you think could use a free trip to Camp Electric, text ROCK to 91979. That'll give you the entry form on where you can nominate them. That's ROCK to 91979.
Now, the deadline for entries is April 9th, so make sure you get yours in right now.
Uplifting Way FM.
News can be a little heavy, so we like to do news-ish. Here's Gavin.
Nowadays, I feel like everyone has been an attempted victim of a scam of some sort. I know that personally, like a scam hit my family a few years back, and it just wreaked havoc.
Yeah.
And it was one that felt very genuine to the family member that it went through. And it, you know, nowadays you've got a lot of those like cheesy texts that look with a sketchy link, and those
because you think, well,
those are
how would
easy
they
to
get my
avoid.
phone number? Like, so it's got to be legit. Like, I tell my mom, like, okay, look, before you do anything, like, let me know, you know, because all you have to do is look at the link when it says it's from Amazon, and the link is like .buync2
Don't touch
asterisk.
that.
You know, it's like no, don't like. But it's easy to get. I mean, it's easy for people to get scammed. You know, especially older people. I hate that.
Yeah, and it seems like some scammers are smarter than others. There was this one woman, a principal at a school in Florida. She actually did fall suspect to a scam in which she thought she was communicating with the CEO of Tesla and the owner of Twitter, Elon Musk.
No,
So-
really? And a Nigerian prince. Like, it all seemed legit.
Dr. Jan, she was a principal at a charter school in Florida. She was forced to resign, actually, after this whole situation, after falling for a scam where she sent $100,000 to someone who claimed to be Elon Musk.
What? Why would Elon Musk need $100,000? That's your first question you have to ask yourself.
Well, in the way that this person, obviously not Elon Musk, was trying to like make the situation seem like it was okay, was that he needed the money and that he was going to actually it was her needing to send the money to her right-hand man or to his right-hand man, and then they were going to invest $6 million into that charter school. So, and this all was happening, and her staff members were hearing about it. It was something that was going on for a little while, and they were like, oh, you probably shouldn't do this, but she ended up going through with it. But it actually was okay because the financial person at this school like didn't let the check go all the way through, so that money didn't get all the way through. But
she got fired.
She did. She resigned, and the principal, I guess, you almost feel bad because maybe in her mind she was trying to get money for this school.
Sure.
And you can totally believe in that. I feel like for some people, yeah, you just want that feeling of doing something really good for your school. But in this case, somebody was just taking advantage of that kindness.
Again, you have to be like, if it sounds too good to be true, if anyone's asking you money online to give you money, you know, right? That's so many red flags. Yeah. It's like that's the Vegas rules, you know, basically. If you're going to like give money to make money, it's too good to be true. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just not going to happen.
And one line from this woman that you're like, well, I don't know, is that she said, I am a very smart lady, well educated, and I fell for a scam.
Yeah, I mean, again, some of them are very sophisticated and they look right, but if people are asking you for money, you do your due diligence. Like when you call out and you call somebody outside of the text you've been given, then you find out instantly it's a scam. Never, ever go to the links that people send you.
Nope.
You know, so if you think, okay, maybe it's legit, yourself call the company. You go outside of that. Then you'll find out for sure, and you can ease your mind. Because I know it can be a little stressful, but boy, what's worse than that is getting scammed and losing a bunch of money. So, man, that's I feel bad for her. I actually do. That's not good at all. Hey, it's the Wally Show. Who's this?
This is Crystal.
Hey, Crystal, what's up?
So you're talking about the scams. Well, they get pretty realistic. My ex-husband was trying to sell his couch on one of like the Facebook marketplaces. And somebody texted him that they wanted it, that they didn't need to see it. They were going to send somebody over to get it, send him a check for the couch. And I told him, whoa, don't do anything. Let me, And so I took the check to where it looked like it had come from, Wells Fargo.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked real. Everything looked real about it. But I took it to him and I said, can you validate that this is a real check? And it wasn't. It was a fake check.
See, that's the thing, man. I hate that you have to be so sophisticated just trying to sell a puzzle on Facebook Marketplace, you know? Because I'm trying to sell my bike, and the first offer I got was a scam. And you go through, their story about why they're buying it, and that's usually your first red flag. It's like, I can't pick it up, but my brother's cousin's uncle will be there, and they'll pay you when they get there. Or, what's your Venmo? Here, give me your Venmo. And then that's where it gets weird, because I need your email because I have a Venmo business account. This is the new scam. And they send you a fake receipt via email with a link, and when you click on that link, that's how they start getting your information to either do a phishing site or get to your identity. People that ask you to converse with them outside of the app, never do that. Here, I'll pick it up. Let me give me your number so I can text you, when I can come. Never do that. Always keep your interactions inside the app, and if you think it's weird, report it, because the first offers you usually get are scams. At least that's been my experience.
And this one, it looked like a real check.
Yeah.
It really did. But they said once it hit your account, you would have been charged for it.
Yeah, and been out the money for the couch, too, so it's a double whammy.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, thank you, guys. Y'all have a great day.
Hey, you too, Crystal. Bye. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. And, it's that spring cleaning time. We're getting close to that. My wife and I have already kind of started this. My wife struggles, honestly, to get rid of things. And I get that. There are certain things that I have blind spots to, like wood. I have a garage full of wood, and she'll be like, that's just scraps of wood. I'm like, but it could be something someday. It's like hoarder issue. I get that. She's that way with fabric and everything else. I get it. It can be hard to decide what to throw out. Betty Rock, you grow attachments to things.
I do.
And you keep weird little things, but you're not like a hoarder person.
No, my mom was never a hoarder, and I think she instilled that in me because I find enjoyment in actually purging things.
It does feel good, doesn't it?
Like actually going to Goodwill and dropping off a bunch of stuff. Because the thing is, too, I think about this. If I move, I don't want to move all that, especially if I'm not going to use it. And I know friends of mine that have boxes just sitting in their living rooms, and they haven't unpacked them for years. And it's like, well, then why do you have them?
I did that. I moved around in radio so much. I still have boxes from 20 years ago that are in my attic that I've not opened in that long. I mean, I literally could just throw them out, but then I'm like, there's some memories attached there.
That's what attics are for, though.
Yeah.
You can put stuff in an attic and not quite feel it.
Yeah, I have old demo tapes on reel-to-reel of my shows.
Oh, my
stuff
goodness.
like that.
So an addict is a hoarder's friend.
Oh, absolutely. So here's what we want to do. We want to help you out right now, okay? You might be facing that spring cleaning thing, and maybe someone in your relationship is not as good at it as you are. We want to help you. What is it that you think your spouse needs to get rid of, okay? You tell us, and you tell us your reason why, and then we'll help you. We'll decide either for or against you on this way, and if we decide for you, then you're great, because then it's not your fault. You'd be like, hey, I talked to some professionals, and they said we need to get rid of this. I'm sorry.
Self-proclaimed professionals.
Yeah. Self-proclaimed amateur professionals, and you are. We're getting rid of your Barco Lounger. Okay. So 855-33-WAY-FM. What is that thing that you have? Let's say your spouse holding on to that you think needs to go in a little spring cleaning. 855-33-WAY-FM. What is that thing your spouse has that you think should go? And we'll help you decide if that is worth throwing away or not.
A dog.
Oh, yes. Okay, good. A dog.
Oh, no.
I don't think he means throw it away. Just give it away.
What? Wait, it's your wife's dog?
Yes.
What's wrong with them? Dogs are loving.
She's a beautiful, sweet girl, my wife and her dog. But the dog has dug up the sprinkler system like 4 times.
Oh.
And is digging a lot of holes in the yard and brings in all sorts of dirt and mud in the house.
Who bought the dog?
Now we're getting complicated.
Yeah.
I would say I found the dog. She bought it.
Okay. So you are culpable in the dog, though. It's not like she brought it to the relationship because she had it for years before she met you. So you guys both have an interest in this dog.
Correct.
Okay. So I get that it's hard because you no longer want the dog. Are you a dog person per se?
I am. And given the challenges, we're a blended family, I actually felt it would be stress relieving to rehome my dog, which was a heart-wrenching experience, but I felt it was the right decision for the betterment of our family.
You got rid of your dog and kept her dog? Oh, now you have a case. Now you have a case. You could even this out. Okay, look, you know what? Let's get rid of this dog too, rehome it, as you say, and we'll start over with a brand new dog for all of us.
Wait a minute, though. That's not how it works in a family. If you have a family member that is difficult, you don't just rehome them.
If I could rehome Betty Rock, I would do it.
At least I'm potty trained.
So what do you got?
So my husband has a storage which costs us $150 a month that he has full of just toys and like football figures and stuff that I'm sure are worth a lot of money.
Okay.
Of everything he has in there. But he's had it for over 13 years. Well, we've been together for 13 years, and he's had it way before we were together. And he doesn't go in there and touch it or do anything with it. And I would just like him to get rid of everything so we don't have that bill every month.
I understand you wanting to save the money for sure, because if you have, there are 12 months in a year, times 13 years equals 156 times 150. You've spent $7,800 on storage unit rent.
What?
Yeah. But that pales in comparison to the probably $1 million of action figures he is housing in there.
And I understand that, but at the same time, he doesn't even use any of them. He doesn't do nothing with them. They've just been sitting there.
But, Christina, you can't use them because it affects their value. He has to keep them new in the box.
Well, then just sell them.
Well, maybe the market is soft on action figures right now. You got to wait till it's high again and then you sell.
No, I'm with Christina. If it is just wasting space. It's taking up space, collecting dust, and you're actually paying for that dust. It doesn't make sense.
Yes, and he's 62 years old, so he's got to
come
grow out of it already.
No, I'm telling you, this is his 401k. This is his IRA. This is his retirement. He's holding on to it so he can retire and give you the lush lifestyle that you obviously are accustomed to.
And leaving her with a bill for a storage unit.
No, that's all going to come out in the wash when he sells this for $2 billion. It's going to be amazing.
Nope.
I don't believe that's going to happen.
Well, good luck, Christina. It's been 13 years. You haven't convinced him yet, so.
Right. Thanks.
What is that thing that your husband is hanging on to that you think needs to go? We'll help you decide if you're right or not.
A toddler training bike, and we have no more toddlers.
Oh, that's funny. Why do you think he's holding on to it? Could it be the memories?
It's a sentimental value, but it just gets moved every time there's a garage clean all over the place.
Now, did he teach the kids to ride that bike?
He did.
Yeah, see, that's it.
Okay,
man.
I think you can find a compromise here. So my first car that I had was a 2000 Ford Mustang, and eventually we had to sell it. So I begged my dad to get the license plate and the little buttons on the radio. So I have those little pieces of the car.
You still have those?
Yes, I have those little pieces of the car to remember the green bean by. Okay, so what you need to do, Amber, is maybe take a handlebar, or maybe like if there's streamers on the handlebar, take those and then put them in like a scrapbook or something, and then get rid of the bicycle.
Okay, except I've taken this thing down to the road and it's made it back into my garage. I'm not so sure it's going to work.
Well, then you only have one course of action, obviously, is to back over it with your car.
There you go.
I'll never forget taking my first compassion trip, and we went to Ghana, Africa. When we got there to the site, there was this little girl. She was 6 years old. I later found out her name was Vivian, and she would not let go of my hand. She followed me everywhere I went on that site. And later I got to meet her family. I met her mother and her siblings, and they all lived in this little mud hut. I mean, it wasn't big at all. And when I looked at Vivian, she had the biggest smile on her face, and she was just happy to be there, just happy to be with us. And it made such an impact in my life that I wanted to sponsor her right then and there. Because of my sponsorship for Vivian through Compassion, I'm able to write letters back and forth with her. I'm now getting updated photos, and now I think she's even taller than me, which is crazy to think. But I'm also able to see how my sponsorship is providing the food, clean water, and other support that she needs and her family needs to live the best life possible. And I can only imagine now with the pandemic, war, and weather disasters, there are so many other families like Vivian's who are dealing with hunger. So maybe you want to make an impact and sponsor your own Vivian. Just click the Compassion banner when you go to wayfm.com.
Uplifting Way FM. If it's trending, streaming, or starring, Betty Rock's got it. On The Rock Report. Hey, Betty.
Since retirement, former Tonight Show host Jay Leno has had his share of bad luck.
Yeah.
Back in November, he sustained second and third degree burns all over his face and upper body after one of his classic cars combusted while he was working on it.
Yeah, and I didn't know it was as bad as it was because you see the headlines, you're like, oh, okay, and you don't think of that, but he got messed up.
Yeah, really bad. He had to have like skin grafts, had to be put in this oxygen tank or something to help with regrowing of his skin. And the crazy thing is if you saw him now, you couldn't even tell.
Oh, really? You can't tell? Oh, that's amazing.
No. 2 months later.
Or was he just really hiding plastic surgery?
Maybe.
Yeah.
2 months later, after that burn situation, he went through a serious motorcycle crash where he sustained multiple injuries. One of them being his ear. Ooh. It had sustained serious burns in the first accident. And then in the second, it was seriously cut.
Oh, wow.
So after that, doctors told him, hey, you got to get yourself a new ear. Well, you can't just buy those at the local Walmart.
Even if you're rich, it turns out.
Right. So they would have to reconstruct a new one.
Wow.
And mold it to look natural, like his other ear.
Pretty great.
And like I said, if you've seen recent interviews with him, you cannot tell. It's amazing. Hopefully, though, his history can be a lesson for others. And by others, I mean Wally specifically. In a recent interview, Leno admitted he was asking for trouble being a 72-year-old man on a fast motorcycle.
He's 72?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your reactions get a little slower the older you get. I know mine have gotten slower than they used to be.
And you just bought
a motorcycle. Yeah, yeah, I get it. Mine's a dirt bike, though. Oh, and I did have a stick go through my nose like the first time out.
It wasn't even a stick. It was a tree limb.
Yeah, so
and it almost touched, well, it may have touched your brain. We're still not sure.
It scrambled some stuff up there. We're sure of that. Yeah, it's weird. Like, I don't think I'm consciously trying to recapture my youth.
I think
you
are.
I don't want to go into old age, without kicking and screaming. And so, I'm definitely taking on sports that could hurt me. And I don't know if I'm trying to prove something or not.
When is enough going to be enough, though?
Until he seriously injures himself, because he doesn't have the money that Jay Leno does to get the plastic surgery.
I'd have to be stuck with a horrible ear, So yeah, once it starts getting into messing up my moneymaker, then I'm going to be out.
Your face is your moneymaker?
No, just my mouth. Uplifting Way FM. This is the Wally Show. We're going to play the whole lot of history game. What we do is I get the searches on Google from members of the show, and all you have to do is tell us who it is that you thought searched this thing, okay? Very simple. If you get enough questions right, you win a prize. Now, it could be all from one person, could be two from one from another, one from each, so you don't know. You can't just mathematically rule something out.
Right, but it does help you if you've listened to the show for a while and you know the personalities.
Yeah, here's an example. Betty Rock, you'll play this one, okay? Is this a post or a search from Gavin or myself? How far is Hong Kong from Korea? Which one of us do you think searched that?
I'm going to say Gavin because I feel like you've traveled a bit more, so
True.
I think you already have an idea.
Yeah, and he's planning on going to Hong Kong, I think.
I'm planning on going to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
How did you know?
Am I right?
No. That was not me.
No, it was actually me. I
Really?
Googled that because my wife tried to convince me. She was confused that Hong Kong was in Korea. I'm like, no, they're not. They're like sovereign nation. Like, they're completely different. And she's like, no, I think they are. I'm like, oh, no way. And so I brought out the Google.
I don't understand where your lack of knowledge, like it dips and then it rises.
Yeah.
You know, like you could not point a finger to where Alaska is
Sure.
on
Yeah.
a globe.
Had no
What is
idea it
that?
was
Yet
that
you
high up.
know that Hong Kong
Yeah.
is not part of Korea.
I know. Like, this is the thing. There are holes in my knowledge that, like, schooling did not teach me.
Big
and
holes.
then other things like idiot savant, I know. So I don't know. So anyway, that's how we play the game. If you want to play with us, we got a WayFM prize pack. 855-33-WayFM. That's 855-33-WayFM. Let's play the whole lot of history game together now. Uplifting WayFM. This is the Wally Show. Valerie, welcome to the whole lot of history game. I have some searches from members of the show, and all you have to do is tell me who searched what, okay?
Okay.
And now, this isn't process of elimination. It could be 3 searches from one person, 2 from one from another, things like that. So you can't just rule it out based on that. So here we go. How to bury a dead horse. Who do you think searched that one? Gavin, Betty, or myself?
Oh, I'm going to go with Betty Rock.
Wow.
So
Did
quick.
not even wait.
Right. Why would you guess me?
Well, you're a country girl, and
You know what? That's as good a logic as any.
It is. That's good. It's better than what I was expecting.
Okay.
And actually, you're right. Yes, I did Google how to bury a dead horse.
Why?
Well, the thing is that I was going for a walk in a local park near here, and it actually has a cemetery for these war horses. And I was thinking to myself, how do you bury a dead horse? Like, is it standing up? Is it laying down?
How'd you
Is
hold
it on
its
its
legs?
back? Like, is it crisscross applesauce?
All of those are great questions, actually.
Yeah, I didn't really find out anything. I think
Yeah.
you can really choose. It doesn't
Yeah.
really matter. But they wanted to face east, I believe.
They want the horse to face east?
Yes.
Sure, why not? Okay.
I didn't know that.
There you go. You got that one right. Okay. When is too young to lose your hair? Who do you think Googled that? Gavin, Betty Rock, or myself?
oh, wow. I'm going to go with you, Wally.
With me? That might be, yeah, okay.
It's a little hurtful.
Betty Rock, did you Google this?
Of course not.
Yeah, because you have a great hairline.
Thank you.
Lots of hair. The only one that would give me a run for my money in the hair loss arena would be Gavin. I can tell you that I did not Google this because I've already given up. I know it's too late for me.
We can tell.
Gavin? Okay. All right, so
Sorry,
Gavin,
Gavin.
you Googled when is too young to lose your hair. Why did you do that?
I did because I was looking at photos of myself from about 5 years ago, and I just felt like the widow's peak was just. And I don't actually think my hair is like fading back that much.
Oh, it is.
But
No,
like
it's
since you got
not.
here, like
It's
even
not.
4 years ago,
You
I see a
have
difference.
way
That might be
more
your fault.
hair. You have way more hair than he does.
Oh, I know.
That's not necessary.
Well, it's true, though.
We don't, it's not a competition.
he's got twice as much life as on me, though.
Yeah, and you guys make me lose my hair. Okay, so no point there. Final question here. Plastic surgery gone wrong. Who do you think did that one?
I'm going to go with you again, Wally.
I would have gone with Betty on this one, honestly, because she might be looking into it. Getting to be 38, you start thinking about these things.
No,
Man,
I'm
hurt people
sticking
hurt
with you,
people.
Wally.
Sticking with me. Betty Rock, did you search this?
Yes, I did.
No way!
You
Really?
know, yes.
I was going, because he watches Project Runway and things like that. And so
Does
just,
that make me
you know,
vain or something?
supermodels and
Listen, that makes complete sense to me, Valerie. But
I
I
was
actually
sure it was Wally.
no, it was actually me. You know, I can't really tell you why I did it. I was just in the frame of mind to see how other people have made poor decisions in life, so I could feel better about my own.
I do feel
You know,
bad.
Wally had something to do with it, though.
Oh, yeah, I've made her feel bad. Like, yeah.
Think hard enough. It had to have gone back to Wally.
He
Somehow.
does say things in passing.
I wonder out loud sometimes, like, oh, are your eyes normally that dark? And so I could see how that would mess with her. So it is my fault. I'll take that. Well, unfortunately, losing was your fault, and you did not get enough to win the game. But you know what? We really like you, Valerie, so we are going to send you a lovely parting gift as well.
Oh, thank you. I had fun.
Well, the podcast is over, but there's still the Aftercast. It's new stuff you didn't hear in the podcast. Be sure to rate us on iTunes, as well as connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Just search Wally Show. And if you'd like to join our Facebook group made exclusively for you potties, the link is in the description of this podcast. Thanks to Colorado Christian University Online and United Faith Mortgage for supporting what we do.